Hello, everybody. It is I, Amo, bringing you back BBR once again. I know it hasn't been very long since we ended, but if you have seen like the Pokemon Direct on Pokemon Day, well, not actually it didn't come for the Direct. We just discovered after the Direct, but you know what I mean. We discovered that the timer for Scarlet Everett has been saved. No more dreaded 20 minutes total for a single match. Now we can do whatever we want. And what does it have to do with BBR? Well, we got some big names in the league, so we decided to start it all over again. And of course, your boy is a coach returning for their second appearance in the season. So last season we finished in quarterfinals after in the hands of Kirby, fellow Canadian. He's already at the course to become King of Canada again. I cannot let him do this. This is for my ego, even though it means absolutely nothing. But but yeah, we are back, and it's kind of the same rules compared to last season, except this time we only have one Terra user at all, and this Terra user will have one type that is one of its primary type, and the other one has to be a type that it is not. Can be anyone as long as it's not its other type if he has a secondary typing. And the pool was all eight, no, not eight, but 12 coaches in the same pool instead of like eight per pools. So yeah, drafts were very fierce to complete with a lot of snipe because the options are very limited in this format. But yeah, so I got to be second pick, which was kind of funny to be very high to pick. And what did I got? You may ask if you ignore, of course, the Dragonite, which, by the way, is the first pick, as you can see. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah, Dragonite is the first pick I got as second. I know there was stuff like Iron Valiant, Chiyu, Chiempa available, but like I didn't felt Valiant for now. I didn't felt Chiyu. I had Chiempa in the Smogon draft tour, so I felt like I already used it, so I didn't need to use it again. I used Palafin in a team tour, from what I remember. I tried Roaring Moonfell for a brief period of time. So it was pretty much just Terra D Knight that was left for me to really enjoy. Because you may not know, Terra might not last for the league, so you might as well use as busted as Dragonite is with Terra. And like I said, it has to be a primary type plus any type that isn't one of its types. So for D Knight, I went with Flying and Normal, which I think are the two best type with those rules. Flying, of course, gave Dragonite the flying stab it's missing a lot without having to rely on Wing Attack. And Normal just granted a stab on extreme speed and a very good neutral type paired with multi-scale. This thing, I know it might sound too crazy, but I assure you, this thing is a beast and a pain to prep against. Okay, it's not that much of a pain compared to Free Terra, but it's still a Pokemon that is very dangerous to fight against. I can estimate to that. So yeah, now I am the D-Knight guy, and my opponents have to bring whatever they can to stop it. So that was my first pick. So then after a little while, after everybody was able to pick two Pokemons, I was able to get my hands on Scizor next, which guaranteed me a Steel type. One of the better Steel type at that as well. It's not the most reliable defensive one anymore because it lost Roost, but offensively, I think it pairs great with D-Knight, so, because momentum, the Jeffrey player clicks momentum. Priority Bullet Punch, even more priority, because this format I think is very of more. There's a lot of offensive threat that are very hard to check, so having a lot of priority can be very useful. Do not let them go rampage. And Yeah, besides that, he also has the Fox, so an offensive the Fogger seems like the better set with D-Knight as well, so I don't might not have to run heavy duty boots and just run an item of my choice. Beside that, like leftovers for leftovers or just berry or choice brand even. I like the Scizor pick a lot. So yeah, and then for my next pick, I was able to get some new toy, uh, new new toy with Hisuian Zorark. Now, the swim Pokemon aren't out yet because Pokemon Home is still not available at the time of recording this. But Zorark is the only exception to that because, again, on the Pokemon Day, we got a special distribution of a Hisuian Zorark, so it is available earlier than the other Hisuian Pokemon. Of course, alongside the other new toys compared to last season being Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, and I was able to get my hand on Zorark, which normally it's like a gimmick Pokemon with illusion and everything, but with normal and ghost, that's such a great typing, like 3 immunities, and those two types are known to hit a lot of things for neutral damage, so paired together it's gonna be very hard to wall Hisuian Zorark, especially because it got its stats modified, like it loses a bit of attack and HP in favor of more special attack and speed, which is for me an upgrade. So yeah, I think I really I want to enjoy this new Zoroark because normally it's just mediocre, but now there's at least new life breathed into it. Or what's the opposite to say when it's there because it's a ghost, so it's technically dead, so it's not really new life. I'll figure out another time or never. I don't care. All right, fourth pick. Didn't know what I really wanted to get. Like I saw for my waters. I didn't see anything interesting. Like I thought about Gastrodon, but I don't know that I didn't know if I felt comfortable for Gastrodon, but instead my eyes seek on Paldean Tauros water, which by the way every Tauros form are tiered differently because they're pretty different Pokemon compared to other different forms of a same Pokemon. And I decided to go with it because I think it's just a standalone good Pokemon all around. Like compared to regular Tauros, it lost speed and special attack in favor of attack and defense, I believe. Of course, a water type with Intimidate is great. It has a great offensive move pool. You can just use his typing to just able to hit hard while be able to be very bulky. I like this new brief on Tauros. And this I can really say new life because at least it's alive. It's not a ghost. So yeah, like bulk up set because it gained the move. Powerful wave crash in close combat for prior stab. I mean, even aqua jet for priority. That's where I was getting at. Also, a ranging bull, which is a move with a lot of utility. Like be able to break screen is for me huge because screens are just great move for me. Like being able to just reduce the damage output you receive is great. So yeah, move that is so consistent that can also break them can be situationally very good. So yeah, I don't think I'm regretting Tauros at all. And then next, another part of something that I needed to secure was the fairy type. They are very scarce and not that great, but at the time I was able to pick both it and Sylveon was up. And I know Sylveon is technically better than Florges. The extra speed and the amount of special defense it adds convinced me to pick it over Sylveon. Especially also because it has synthesis as well, so it's not reliant on wish. If I feel like I wanted to keep Florges alive, but without having to rely on wish to turn passivity. But yeah, Florges is pretty much what you expect. Like its move pool is consists of around fairy and grass move because it's also a flower, but not a grass type. But Florges did got a few buffs in this gen. Like it got Baton Pass, which is of course allowed to only use it as a momentum, the same way as you click U-turn, which is great. For it's just a nice buff. It's not overpowered, just something nice for more option. So yeah, that's Florges for you. I don't really have anything else to say about it. So yeah, Iron Thorns looks badass as hell, but but it's so terrible. Well, I still decided to draft it because why not? He looks cool. It's Tyranitar. but he has no special defense whatsoever. Well, it doesn't necessarily die to a special hit, but T-Tart like feels unbreakable on the special side unless it's like Specs Focus Blast. This thing will just die to even a regular Draco or something. But beside that, it offers hazards. It's not the best hazard setter, but I guess it's better than having nothing. It can sweep with Dragon Dance or even Swords Dance, but its speed is very limited. So it can be still easy to revenge heal, so it needs like a lot of DDs. So just gonna be those situational mon that it won't have a lot of usage, but if it does, I'll have to find like a good reason to squeeze it into the roster for every week. Otherwise, it'll just be on the bench most of the time. So it might seem weird to just draft it at a six pick, but if you know me, you know I don't draft consistently or optimally. I just draft what I think falls under my eyes, which then leads to Toedscruel next. Gotta admit, I was never a fan of Grass and Ground as a typing, but with it and Power gone, I'm starting to be a little bit more optimistic about this typing. Well, fortunately, Torterra was never around, but we got a new one in Gen 9, which is basically a Tentacruel, but its ability is Mold Breaker, aka Reverse Prankster, which is really not great. Since Toedscruel's speed is amazing, so it's a bit sad to have its ability makes it go last. But that doesn't stop its move pool to still be great. Like yeah, it's of course it stabs, it also has knockoff, it also have rapid spin, also have toxic, spikes, spore, stun spore. Really, its move pool is great and its typing can be very good. It's just that yeah, its ability can be very awkward to deal with. But I still want to use it because I never did. It looks very fun. Also, even though it looks like Tentacruel, it's a mushroom. Yeah, a mushroom. Next, in favor of my good friend Kirby, I drafted Skuntank, which is a Pokemon that he has a lot of history with. So it's similar to Iron Thorns, where it's really on the matchup over to bring it. I don't gotta use a lot of time, only just if I need like something specific about it, like be able to fight as a terrifying psychic type, why not? But beside that, it lost the fight, but it got gong shots, which is nice, I guess, for offensive set. It also keep toxic, so yeah, like I said, it's very situational, but can work. I see worse, and then of course, I cannot do a season without bringing my boy. Of course, Ice Cube, the legend, the myth, the boy, the unbreakable. I did pretty decent last season with it, so I hope to do even better because there's the big names. In a sense, I want to impress them with the Ice Cube to see them the way of the penguin. Yeah, I don't need to talk about it. We all know how awesome Ice Cube is. So I won't waste any time. Before last pick, I was able to snag Armarouge, which funnily enough, MV drafted Cerulege, and then I followed it up with Armarouge. It's a strong special attacker, of course. Yeah, there's like the set with Focus Sash, with Armor, Weakness Policy, not Focus, of course, Focus Sash, Weakness Policy, yes, Amo. I'm at Endure Weakness Policy with Armor, that turns into a terrifying sweeper. But I like also just outstroking it is naturally, like it has its signature move Armor Cannon, which is basically fire type special close combat. So pretty strong. The speed is kind of low, but its bulk is not bad. And although the typing has a lot of weakness, it has its own resistances. So yeah, I think I want to enjoy Armarouge. That's basically it. And then for last and not least, I had a few options available, like so like few leftovers. Like I remember like Weava was available for last or whatnot. Like my team was pretty much complete in my eyes. Maybe there's something that I'm not looking that I'm missing, but I don't care. As long as it look good for me, it's fine. So we're grabbing Lechonk. Just just because we have Lechonk. Look at him. It's Lechonk. I like to say his name, Lechonk. It's basically just the main pick of the draft. Like, if I have everything, might as well have fun with the last pick. And I did promise if I'm doing good enough that I'm already confirmed for playoff by the last week of the regular season, I'm bringing it for the final match of the regular season. And if it does, then it's gonna be against Matt O'Shea, which will be very funny if I am able to bring Lechonk. But yeah, so that's it. That's the draft analysis. Nothing to hear about anymore. Of course, you have the way more talented coaches to watch other than me. Um, I mean, I have trying to upgrade my quality, not because I want to, but because Owen wants me to. And because there's the big name, so they're probably gonna watch my sides, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I cannot watch this guy. His quality stinks." So I'll try to upgrade. So, yeah, that's all about me. I will just see you guys for week 1 and onward. So, hope you guys will enjoy some Lechonk. See ya!